Hi, I'm Sarah Ockwell-Smith. Welcome to this week's latest SOS parenting video. Today I want to chat with you about the idea of children being resilient. What do I mean by that? Well, a lot of people ask me, are they really that resilient? Is it okay that you can effectively do anything to them and that's okay because they're resilient? And I think we use this term resilience as an excuse sometimes for poor parenting and parenting that is indeed harmful. What am I talking about here? So things like smacking or spanking. People will say it's okay, they've got to learn a lesson and they're resilient, don't wrap them up in cotton wool, they'll be okay. A lot of the sort of the outdated old authoritarian practices, cry it out or cry-based sleep training, it's okay, they're resilient. And even things like naughty steps or timeouts or lots of shame for children, they've got to learn they're resilient. And I think in those instances, it's definitely used as an excuse. And I don't think in those cases that the child is really as resilient as the adult thinks. When I use the term resilience, I talk about it in the context of a nurturing, caring, respectful, an environment where the adults really support the children and they care. I call that gentle parenting. Other people call it lots of different things. But I think we have to view it holistically. All parents screw up. All parents will be in a position where they can't meet their child's needs. So whether you're in the shower and your baby wakes up and starts crying and you have to wash all the shampoo out first and put a towel around and you realise they've been crying for 5 minutes, or your baby is crying and your toddler is also crying at the same time and you have to pick which one that you're going to respond to first, or the time when you drop your child off at daycare and they desperately don't want to go and they cling to you and they're sobbing, but you have to go to work for an important meeting. So these are the times I'm talking about. In a family with parents or one parent who is deeply supportive and nurturing, who contains their child's feelings, who seeks to co-regulate and reconnect and sort of make things right afterwards. In that instance, yes, they are resilient because these are a tiny snapshot in an otherwise incredibly nurturing family, in an otherwise incredibly nurturing day. And in these instances, when we screw up, when we can't meet our child's needs, we know that yes, they are resilient and they will be okay. So I think really the question we ask ourselves is, are we using that term resilience to kid ourselves that they will be okay as an excuse for bad parenting? Or are we worried, actually, as a lot of the time I find with parents I work with, that is my child really that resilient when I screw up all the time and I can't quite meet their cries, or I have to leave them somewhere and I know it's not great gentle parenting? That's life. Nobody is perfect and perfect parents would be scary anyway. But as long as you are good enough and you genuinely are connected and nurturing and you listen to your child's feelings and you support them as much as possible, and also you try to fix things that are causing you to not be as responsive as you'd like, then absolutely they are resilient. You're doing a great job of growing their brain in the centre of resilience for when they're older, a teenager or an adult. And I think you need to give yourself a little bit of grace and know that that instance of resilience is absolutely okay. Let me know what you think.